What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we got some parts in for that red block in the 740. Been a little busy with work and some other things, so I've been able to post like last week. But I did get the pistons ordered and the rods ordered. I did end up going with some different rods and pistons than originally discussed. I'm actually going to run some Wiseco pistons. They dropped the compression down to 8.0 to 1 compared to I think 8.5 or 8.77 to 1. That'll allow us to put more boost into the motor safely and should make more power per pound of boost maybe. For my application, I think this will be just fine. And I ordered the connecting rods, the same ones that Drifts and Lifts used in his videos on the panel wagon. I think it made like high 300, low 400 horsepower on them, but it's Max Peating Rod brand. Great reviews. Go check them out on YouTube and see what people have said about them. Supposed to be really good rods, and they're about the same price as the other ones I was looking at, so I went ahead and just ordered those. They were 3-day shipping compared to quite a few weeks out. Talked to the machine shop about the motor, and he said $150 to have it bored to the size of the pistons that I need, or it could be $500 if I have to sleeve it. So either way, it's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. But yeah, in this video, we got the turbo manifold and the studs that I ordered, and we're gonna take a look at those. So the first would be the studs. As you can see here, they have the Allen key in the top, and they are just a replacement stud along with the washers that they use and these nuts. The nuts are ARP style. They look really good. The quality looks pretty dang good on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these into the block and in the motor, and get that manifold just mocked up on there and see how it will look on there, I guess. The manifold is a bottom mount turbo setup. Thinking of that, I was like, well, if I did bottom mount turbo on the manifold, it should make the exhaust a lot easier to route, along with it hiding the turbo a little bit, just to make it a little bit more of a sleeper, even though you're probably going to hear the turbo anyways. But it can also be made into a top mount turbo, you know, like you see on most of the builds in Sweden. So we'll see how it goes. If you do a top mount, it just requires a little bit of cutting on the flange, but nothing crazy. So what I will do is I will grab the manifold. It is very heavy. As you can see, this is the manifold here. I did go with the OBX brand, like I told you guys. Very thick flanges, and I believe it's all stainless. The quality of this manifold is pretty nice. The flange here is very thick as well. But overall, looks like a solid piece that is up for the power we're going to push through it. Looks very good. I love all the spaghetti noodles going through here. But yeah, we're going to get this set up on the car, or on the, not car, the motor, and see how it looks. So you can see we have a T3 flange. So yeah, let's get it set up on there and see how it walks up, how it looks. Hopefully it fits and clears the AC, because I want to keep the AC. But yeah, let me get you guys set up and I'll get that rolling. Alright, as you guys can see, I got all the studs just ran in there. I removed all of the old ones, as you can see over there. They were extremely tight in there. I got all those removed, and I have about 4 left. I got one on the other side for the intake. So I'm going to buy another set of these and just use 4 more to finish out the intake. But yeah, just going to thread these bad boys in there. Make it even on both sides, you know, have nice studs and hardware for the exhaust. Might as well have the same hardware for the intake, since we're not really skimping out on this build as much as I would like. I kind of want this thing to last a while. Those Max Peating rods that I was telling you about, they are rated for 800 horsepower. Pretty sure they can handle a lot more. But yeah, let's get this manifold set up on there. And if I have the nuts wherever I put them at, I thought I had them all here. Ah, they're still up here. I'll just put 2 on there, just to hold it up. Ooh, so there's 1 and 2. And then this down there. And see if I can get this one in here. They give you just enough clearance to get that nut started. But as you can see on that manifold, oh, I'll get that right now out of the way. We have good clearances for spark plugs. That one there could be a pain in the vehicle. This one here maybe as well, but it'll all work out. Yeah, there's the manifold on the motor there. As you can see, the turbo is a bottom mount, so you will have the hot side coming off of here, curving into the turbo. So turbo is probably going to be out to here. I don't know if that's going to clear the frame rail or not. It should, since I've seen a lot of people use these and they clear. But yeah, get that intake just set up there just because. I might be switching the intake out with a fabricated aluminum one, but for now you can see there the setup and how it would look in the car. Of course, it'd be a little angled, of course. Then I'll switch this around. I just like the way this looks up top. That looks pretty nice. Just hope the AC accumulator and stuff will be cleared over here. So let's take this. Good lordy. There we go. Flip it around and see how it looks. I'll show you the clearance issue I'm talking about. It wouldn't be too bad, seeing that you could just cut the flange off, flip it and re-weld it. But if you do a bottom mount turbo, you can see here the spark plug holes, not much room in there, so you'd have to notch out, just a little bit, probably that much. It leaves enough flange to do it, but I will bolt this down real quick so you can see how that would look with the top mount. As you can see there, turbo would now curve this way. Don't know if that interfered with valve cover or anything, but I think if it goes up enough, you should be fine. But I still think I'm leaning towards bottom mount, just so you get more of those tubes in there, just to make it look better. But like I said, the spark plug holes, you'd have to either cut the flange and re-weld it, or just notch it out a little bit, and just put some heat shielding boots on the spark plugs, the spark plug wires, just to help save it from the heat. But flip this back around so you can get a better look at the bottom mount setup. We'll just put this one up here. Alrighty. As you can see with that bottom mount, the turbo oil drain being down here, that shouldn't be a problem with turbo coming off here. Oil drain somewhere around here should be good enough to gravity feed, probably a 45, maybe this fitting here. Let's see if I can get that off. Maybe this fitting here, shorten the hose or whatever, and just have the 45 coming off, going straight in. See how that works. Shouldn't have too much of a problem as long as it gravity feeds good. Then I'm not too worried. But with the way the turbo is going to be set up, it should be a good gravity feed. Might even be a hard line that I'll end up running with AN fittings on it, just to make it easy. But yeah, once that turbo's mounted there, oh, you better not fall on me out. Once the turbo's mounted onto here, probably going to run a stock oil filter housing. You know, take this nut off, split the two pieces here, and just put it on and have the oil cooler lines pointing forward or down a little bit, and just have the filter screw onto the side. I think that'll work pretty good. Be easy to access the oil or coolant. That'd be the oil and coolant feed and return lines for the turbo. So that'll be easy and nice. But yeah, other than that, I think this manifold is a pretty quality piece for $300. I mean, all the welds look decent, and it being all stainless plus the extremely thick flanges and pretty decent accessibility to the spark plugs. I think this will be just fine. But should accent that motor nicely with that valve cover. And then while I was bored, I hand polished all of these nuts in here, and then all of the front cover bolts I hand polished just for the heck of it. Installed new seals into the covers, and I even polished the rear main cover bolts just like these for whatever reason, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully have the rods and pistons to give you guys a look in the next video. That'll be, what is that, Tuesday? Be Thursday. So hopefully be able to give you guys a look at that. And then machine shop, getting the work done on it. I think that'll be the next step. I got the Glyco main and rod bearings for it. What else did I get? I think that's it so far. Once the machine work's done, I should be able to have this motor sealed back up, oil pan back on, and have it on the engine stand back in the garage, ready to drop into the car, just so it's back in the car and I can start planning the turbo stuff and messing with that harness. And think I might order the standalone, the micro squirt standalone system for that, and get that put on and wired up, then start picking away at the small stuff. But as you also probably know, there's something missing here. I will discuss that in another video. Yes, I did sell the pit bike, and yes, it is gone. Its funds are being put back into another toy, which is this. So it'll be missed, but it is going to a good cause, a good use. So that'll be a bonus, is having that put back into the car so I can get it running. I do like how that valve cover turned out. I think it turned out really good. But yeah, the rods and pistons I used, I'll show you the Wiseco pistons. I'll get you some numbers on those in case any of y'all want to run the same pistons. This is the first motor build I've done that's to this extent, and I kind of just going off of what other people have built for the similar power numbers that I've been wanting to do on this. So with the Wiseco pistons being dished, I think they are a 14 cc deeper dish, so it drops the compression ratio. People say you get more horsepower per pound of boost if you run a lower compression motor, even though off boost it's going to be a dog. But the turbo that I'm speccing out should spool up around 2,500 RPM. So that'll bring the pep back into it, make it, spool up like stock does. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Only way to find out is when you fire it up and drive it. So we'll get to that point eventually. The pistons, they were in stock. They weren't back order or anything. I ordered them from Real Street Performance. Some of y'all might be familiar with them. But these are the pistons here. As you can see, they're a pretty nice piece of jewelry, I should say. You can tell the dish is deeper. They come with wrist pins. They come with rings, all that good stuff. And if you have to have the block machined, because those are 96.5 millimeter, stock bore's 96, you'll have to take it to a machine shop. So if you get those pistons, just know that you have to go to the machine shop to get that done. It doesn't cost too much more. Like I said, $150 to bore, and if that ring lip is still present, it'd be $500 to get it sleeved. So that's not bad at all for sleeves. And then let's see, the rods. Those are $710, by the way, plus taxes and all that. Not too bad for a set of pistons. Quality pistons. Wiseco's been around forever, and they've been making pistons for anything. Dirt bikes, motorcycles, all the way up to cars, drag cars, all that stuff. The rods, I mean, y'all have probably heard of Max Speeding Rod. Those are the rods there. Nothing crazy. Something to read up on these rods is that their weight is within a gram of each other. The material that they're made out of is the same as all of your name brands like K1 and all that. For the most part, they use ARP 2000 hardware, so you get actual ARP hardware. And then they're also marked on the ends of the rod cap, so you know which one goes where. Still want to keep track of that. Don't want to mismatch them. But the big end and small end of the connecting rods all take standard wrist pins and standard size bearings, given that your crank doesn't need to be turned or oversized or anything like that. And then the pistons, what I was going to go on that, back to those bad boys, is if I can pull up their specifications so you can see. They are a 8.0 to 1 compression ratio. They weigh 554 grams apiece. The head cc is 45.4 cc. Gasket thickness 0.048 inches. The dome is negative 14 cc, so I'm guessing that's a 14 cc deeper dish. Stroke is for an 80 millimeter stroke. 96.5 millimeter bore. And they're just forged pistons, your basic forged pistons. How much power they can hold, I don't know. There's guys running 3-bar boost through them, and that's roughly 43 psi boost. So that's a lot of boost. Given that the compression ratio is lowered, it's safer to run more boost. But yeah, this is just a short video going over what I got in the mail. I was going to make a video all together of the rods, pistons, and intake manifold, hardware I got, all that stuff. I was gonna make it all together, but I figured I'd put some content out there, let you see the exhaust manifold and all that good stuff, the hardware. Pretty impressed with this hardware. I mean, if you just look at the nut itself, it's probably coming through blurry because it's a GoPro. The hardware is not bad. I mean, for $78 for a set of studs and nuts, this is the stainless, not the titanium. Titanium is like $5 more, but these were in stock. Titanium was not. It went out of stock. So stainless it is. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'll answer the best I can. Like I said, this is my first engine build into depth like this. I've LS swapped my Jeep. You know, I had that Track Mini and stuff, that couple other cars, but I haven't done a like rod and piston full gone through build, machine shop work, all that stuff. So this is the first one. I wouldn't say I'm knowledgeable in how motors work, how compression ratios do this and that for boost. I just going off of a couple guys that have built stuff over in Sweden. They were just saying that, you know, the high compression, low PSI turbo setups, you're kind of limited. It's a little more strain on the internals, but it would honestly be no different than running 44 pounds of boost through a low compression setup. But what they said is, they've seen numbers where, you make more horsepower per pound of boost on a low compression, high PSI turbo setup compared to high compression, low boost. Like my brother's Turbo LS, it's I think higher compression, low boost setup, makes great power, but then we're comparing LSs to 4 cylinders and the B230 to a 6.2 liter. There's probably differences in there. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I have no idea how that stuff really works in depth. I'm just going off of what I read. So if anybody's wanting to build anything like this, go through the internet, talk to some locals that have done it, and just see what info they can give you. This might not make the power number that I plan that it's going to make, but I'll be happy with anything over 350 at the wheels, to be honest. And that small of a car, through a 5-speed trans, 350 wheels is going to be pretty fun. If I can turn it up, with 1,000cc injectors, all that, have the fuel system set up to try to turn it up. If I can turn it up, run 35, 40 pounds of boost on it safely, and it breaks the 500 wheel horsepower mark, maybe 600, I'll be very pleased. I don't think it will, based off the size of the turbo I'm doing. I just want to spool up quick and just shooting for 350 wheel or over. I think that'd be a lot of fun compared to the 160 or 170 horsepower that these made factory. So I think it's an achievable goal. It's definitely be overbuilt for that power range if that's the case, but overbuilt's better than underbuilt. So we are gonna see how it turns out. Anybody that's interested in keeping up with the build, just stay tuned, keep notifications on. I'm going through some changes, personal life wise, so there might be hit and miss videos. I will make a video talking about what happened to the pit bike, and what I plan on doing there, but basically just got rid of it, decent amount of money, reinvest it back into the car, and then once that's done, think about if I want to get another pit bike or anything. I have the Trail 70 with the 125 on it. That's a 4-speed. I can always get that out and ride with my brother if I need to, have fun, have the motorized bike. Go-kart might be for sale. I don't know yet. I feel like it's too dangerous to sell to somebody that's gonna let their kid ride it. I know I'm not liable for that, but I don't know. That thing's just sketchy. It's very sketchy, and it's a fun kind of dangerous. You can get really hurt on it, so I might keep it, but regardless, these funds are going back into the car and try to help me out a little bit on the side while I'm doing some changes. I have a surgery and stuff that I'll be going through and all that, so I might be down a little bit on videos around August 11th time, maybe sooner. Got to go have some surgery done, so that'll be fun. It's my first ever surgery too, so this will be fantastic. Just hope it all goes good, and then we'll try to pick back up on the car. Hopefully get settled in at some other things and all that, and yeah, hopefully be able to get this car rolling by the end of the year. That's the plan. I don't want to wait until next year if I don't have to. So we'll dive into that, do some more build on it, get some more content out with that car. But yeah, just bear with me. Gonna be hit and miss on YouTube for a little bit, but I will be giving updates every time I get new parts in, every time I get anything in for the car, anything changes, I'll be doing updates. So yeah, like always, like the video, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.